Hello, so welcome everyone to this presentation today. So we're going to get started here. So in the presentation today, we're going to go through the steps to build tax efficient wealth. And so I invite you to, use the chat to drop your questions if you have any questions, and I will be happy to answer them at the end of the day. So today I want to go through a 6-step framework designed to minimize your taxes and accelerate your cash flow and wealth. As most of you already know, there is no shortage of information out there on how to build wealth. What I've come to discover is that all these pieces of information ultimately lead to overwhelm for the ordinary person seeking direction on how to start this journey of sustainable wealth creation. And I've seen this firsthand as I've personally struggled with this myself, venturing from one so-called money-making opportunity to another, sometimes making money, losing it all, dealing with inefficient debts, making many money mistakes, one after another, and watching my clients struggle over and over again with the same issues. So a few years ago, I decided to do something, and I started by writing my first book, Tax Efficient Wealth, all with the goal to start educating Canadians on how to start this journey on building sustainable wealth. And not just the way most people teach it, or the way you've heard it about in the past, but in a tax-efficient way. Why? Because taxes we pay is the greatest barrier to wealth creation that most people don't realize. In fact, most people underestimate the devastating impact of taxes on your ability to build wealth. And when you realize how much a dollar saved in taxes compounded over time will add to your wealth, you will begin to appreciate the importance of using the tax lens to plan your finances. So I've designed this framework to make it easy for you to systematically plan, to build, and to grow your wealth in a tax-efficient way. So my goal today is to empower you with the knowledge and confidence you need to live a tax-efficient life. So we're going to go through the steps to building tax-efficient life wealth. I will leave you with some tools and resources to support you in this journey to tax-efficient wealth. And ultimately, my goal is to leave you with the confidence that you can build a life where you will never have to worry about running out of money again. Just imagine what that will look like for you to never worry about running out of money, particularly when you retire or when you have to deal with a job loss. So during the presentation today, you may have questions, and I'm going to ask you to ask your questions, and I may ask you questions from time to time. So I encourage you to use the chat to ask your questions and to actively participate throughout the presentation. I'll be reading the charts from time to time and as I go along, and I'll greatly appreciate if you all stay engaged in this chat as well. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to take some time to answer your questions before we depart today. I know we all live busy lives, and oftentimes there is a tendency that we want to multitask. But today, I ask that you give me your attention for the next 30 minutes or so as I go through this presentation. I encourage you to get a pen and take some notes. I also ask that you be open-minded. Some of the things I will share today will not be new to some of you, so there may be a tendency to want to dismiss it. From my experience, building wealth and doing so successfully is not often about what you know, but it's more about what you do with what you know. And more often than not, it takes the right mindset and discipline to accomplish any goal that is worth accomplishing in life. So for those of you that don't know me, I immigrated from Nigeria in January 2002, and I arrived in Saskatoon in the middle of the winter. So you can imagine the cold welcome I got coming in from sunny and hot Nigeria. After many failed attempts to get a decent job in Saskatoon, I had to take the risk to move to Toronto to pursue an MBA at the Schulich School of Business at York University. After the program, I was lucky to land a job with PricewaterhouseCoopers in downtown Toronto, where I ended up qualifying as a chartered accountant. I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers for a number of years, then held different roles in different Canadian banks from 2010 to 2016. And while I was at the banks, I started my accounting practice on the side, and that was in 2010. And then in 2012, I co-founded GMS Professional Corporation with my business partner that I currently run today. In 2020, I wrote a book and I published my first book, Tax-Efficient Wealth. And shortly after that, I created this Tax-Efficient Wealth membership network. It's a network where professionals and like-minded people get together, all with the purpose of building wealth in a tax-efficient way. My time in the financial services industry and my work with many Canadians, advising them on personal and corporate tax matters, has really given me a lot of insights on the significant impact of taxes, particularly on your journey to financial freedom. So for many years, I've been on this journey myself, and I'm still on it today because I'm learning new things every day. So why I've seen some significant success over the years, growing from a negative network position to now worth millions of dollars in the assets we build, in the businesses we built, it has come with some challenges. And so today I'm going to be sharing some of my experience with you, sharing some of the experience working with many clients in this industry. And I'll share some of the testimonies from some of the clients I've worked with. Now, when I share my story, and when people look at the success that I've accomplished or I've achieved, they think the journey looks like the picture on the left. Okay, all they see is what most people will call overnight success, but I don't blame them because many gurus today, that's what they portray in social media, all over the place, and they do that because they want to make a quick sale. So what success truly looks like is more like the picture on the right. You will make mistakes just as I have. You will work really, really hard. You will deal with fear. You will fail many, many times. And you will deal with all sorts of craps over and over again. But if you hang in there, if you continue to persevere, if you continue to have patience, you will ultimately begin to see results. So this journey is filled with ups and downs. And my goal today is to leave you and to live and to use my experience, from my own experience, from my own journey, and the experiences of many clients I've worked with, and to use all of that to help you on your own journey to creating tax efficient wealth. So this is the roadmap of today's presentation. So I'm going to go through the 6-step framework. With step 1, we're going to start by defining our goals. In step 2, you're going to assess your current situation to determine what gaps you may have. In step 3, you will review and put in place appropriate structures for earning income and for managing your wealth. In step 4, you're going to build tax efficiencies around your finances. In step 5, you're going to go into action by building the right habits, the accountability structure, and the action steps you need to implement these strategies. And finally, in step 6, you're going to review what you've learned, learn from your mistakes and from your successes, and just refine and repeat what's working. Okay, so now I'm going to spend some time to go through each of these steps. So the first step in this framework is to start by setting your goals. Not just any goals, but clear, concise goals that will stretch you, goals that are achievable. Here, you want to define your short-term goals as well as your long-term goals. I will consider a short-term goal as a goal that you want to achieve in 5 years or less. For example, I want to buy my primary residence that will cost me no more than $500,000 in 4 years from now. That is an example of a short-term goal. On the other hand, a long-term goal is a goal that will be longer, say for 10 years or more. A good example is, for example, let me say, I want to plan to retire 10 years from now with at least $1 million in my TFSA account. Okay, so that's an example of a long-term goal. When it comes to your goals, I encourage you to dream big. Aim to reach for the stars so that when you fall short, you will still have a decent accomplishment that is worth celebrating. So why is setting goals so important? It is important because we live in a world that is increasingly filled with many distractions. So your goals will keep you focused. It will enable you to shift your focus from your limitations today to your possibilities in the future. Goals will permit you to dream big, and it will fill you with optimism. Goals will also enable you to create the intention and purposeful actions towards accomplishing your dreams. And finally, goals will equip you to achieve happiness. There is research that shows that happiness is not just the result of achieving important goals, but it is the byproduct of pursuing significant goals. So once you set your goals, you will have a clear roadmap. You will no longer drift. You will not go through life with you will not go through life with a clear purpose that will drive your daily actions. And in our membership platform, we have a great framework for setting and achieving goals that we teach. It's a simple 4-step framework that will teach you how to set smarter goals, goals that are specific, measurable, actionable, risky, time-bound, exciting, and relevant. This is the framework I used in 2020 when I had so much accomplished in just 1 year. In that year, I started a coaching business. I grew our accounting business in the middle of COVID. I wrote and published a book. I wrote and published an article every day for over 150 consecutive days, and many, many other goals. So I want to end this step with this powerful quote from Benjamin Hardy, and this quote highlights the importance of goals. In order to become a new person, you must have a new goal, a purpose worth pursuing. Your goal is the reason you develop new attitudes and skills and have curated transformational experiences. Without a meaningful goal, attempting change lacks meaning. It requires unsustainable willpower and will ultimately lead to failure. And I couldn't agree more. Now, how many of you would agree, at least based on what I've shared so far, how many of you will agree that setting clear goals, both short-term and long-term goals, are critical for you achieving success? Right? So if you think goals is important in everything that you do, if you think it is critical, I encourage you to let me know, put it in the chat, and so that way I can get a sense of what you think. So step number 2 is to assess your current situation. So this is one of the most important steps and probably the most challenging, as this will require you to confront your reality, particularly in the light of the goals that you've just set for yourself. So this is where you have to learn how to deal with shame, particularly if you've made so many mistakes in the past, how to deal with blame, with failure, with mistakes, and learn how to forgive yourself so that you can move on. Shame and blame can sometimes lead to inaction, so we must learn how to step into this in a very healthy way to get the motivation we need to move forward. In her book, Vicky, I don't know if some of you have read the book. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on, I can find that book. Right. So Vicky, she talks about taking a position of no shame and no blame, particularly when you're looking at your financial situation. Okay, so she says that your ability to realistically confront your current financial position is perhaps the only way you can be motivated to make changes that will improve your financial position. So in this step, the main goal here is to determine your gap. And that is the gap between your income and expenses. And most importantly, the gap between where you are today and where you want to be in the future. And you do this by taking a detailed look at your income. So that's how much you're making and how much you need to make to reach your goals. You take a good look at your expenses so that way you have something left over to save and to invest. You look at your debt to determine which debt is productive and which one is non-productive. You look at your assets to determine which assets are efficient and which ones are not. You consider risk and think about how you use insurance to determine if you have sufficient financial defense. You consider the tools that you're using to determine which of the financial tools that you need to use and how to use them to get the optimal results that you need. So why is this step important? It is important because if you don't know where you are, then you won't know how to get to your final destination. So I encourage you to imagine what it will look like for you if you have a very, very clear picture of where you are today and where you need to get. Because if you do, you will be clear on your action plans and you will be focused. And you'll likely be motivated to work towards achieving your goals. So in our membership network, we have the templates and the tools that you can use to accurately get a picture of where you are today by knowing your gap, by identifying the types of assets and liabilities you currently have, and we'll provide you with the training and resources to help you close any gaps you may have between where you are today and where you plan to be in the future. Okay, so based on what I've shared today, how important is it for you to know where you stand today financially? I mean, what do you think this will, what kind of change do you think this will drive, right? If you get a better understanding of where you are today. So the third step I want to talk about is structure. The question you have to ask yourself here is, what's the most optimal structure for earning income and for building wealth? In Canada, it matters a lot how you earn your income. Why? Because different types of income are taxed differently. In addition, it also matters how that income is earned. In other words, what structure are you using to earn the income? So there are three most common structures that we have. Well, the first one is to earn your income in your name. So here you earn the income personally, and this will be reported in your personal tax return, and the income will be taxed in your hands. The second is to use a corporate structure, right? So you use a corporate structure to earn income. And finally, the third one is to use a trust. So with trust, you have a flow-through structure where the beneficiaries of the trust ultimately receive the income. So based on the Income Tax Act in Canada, different tax structures are taxed differently. And this is why it is critically important to use the most appropriate structure based on your financial situation. Because when you have the appropriate structures working for you, you will improve your cash flow, you will have the ability to defer taxes, and you will ultimately minimize risk. So one of the benefits of working with me or being part of our membership network is that you will have a clear understanding of the advantages and disadvantages of the different structures and when it is appropriate for you to begin to implement them based on your income level and based on your lifestyle. Okay, so given the way our tax system in Canada is, would you agree that having the appropriate structure for earning income is critical for building tax-efficient wealth? Do you see why sophisticated clients and individuals need to think about the way they achieve or the way they earn income and the structures they use to protect their wealth? Is that because of the different taxes and the different advantages and disadvantages based on the kind of structures that we have? The fourth step is to factor in tax efficiencies throughout your journey to tax efficient wealth. So the goal here is threefold. First, to save money tax-free or tax efficiently. Secondly, to grow that money tax-free or tax efficiently. And finally, to withdraw and to spend your money tax-free or tax efficiently. The good news here is that the government offers us a few tax-free options, such as the ability to sell your principal residence and pay no taxes on the gain, the ability for you to use the RRSP, which is the Registered Retirement Service Plan, to defer taxes, the ability to use the tax-free savings account, the TFSA, to earn income tax-free, the use of tax-exempt life insurance policies, because these policies will allow you to grow income again tax-free, and the newly first-time home savings account, FHSA account, that you can now use to defer taxes and also to earn income tax-free. So if these tools are used appropriately, taking into consideration your personal financial situation and your future plans, you will be much further ahead on your goal to tax-efficient wealth. And one of the ways we accomplish this goal of tax efficiency is by making sure that our strategies take advantage of these additional criteria that will help us accelerate wealth. So things like leverage, which is a wise use of debt. Things like compound interest, using the power of compounding to grow your money faster. Things like velocity, constantly putting your money in motion to work for you and to work in your favor. And when you work with me or become a member of our network, we'll show you how you use these tools, including tools like business, like real estate, to grow your wealth and to do so in a tax efficient way. So based on what we've discussed so far on tax efficiencies, how important is it to you to minimize taxes? The taxes you pay today and the taxes you pay in the years ahead. So I think if you understand the barrier that taxes pose, if you understand the significant impact taxes can have on your ability to create wealth, then you begin to appreciate the importance of incorporating tax efficiencies in everything that you do. So this fifth step is likely the most important step. Why? Because if you don't do anything, if you don't execute, if you don't act, if you don't take action, nothing happens. Your life will not change. You will not be better than you were yesterday. And ultimately, you will not experience the transformation you desire. So if you want transformation in your life, you have to take action. You have to execute. You have to move from head knowledge to actually implementing the ideas you've learned, whether it's what you're learning today or what you're going to learn in the days ahead. For you to act, for you to execute, you must develop systems that will make execution effortless. You will need a system to execute on your priorities every day. You will need a system that will allow you to break down your long-term goals into annual goals and eventually into daily tasks. A system like this will keep you focused, and will certainly prevent you from drifting. Once you master this step and begin to implement what you know, you will learn, you will grow, you will ultimately accomplish your goals and experience the transformation that most people don't experience in their lifetime. And when you work with me or join our membership network, you will have access to the tools and resources that we use to make implementation effortless. In addition, you will step into a community where accountability is integrated in what we do. And accountability is one of the key ingredients that will drive action. Accountability through coaching is one of the things that made a significant difference in my journey to building tax efficient wealth. In 2012, I remember buying my first online course. It was a great course, and I got a lot of knowledge of what I needed to do to build an online business. However, I never followed through to actually start the business for a number of reasons. I got busy with my day-to-day job. I procrastinated. I did not believe in myself. I had no time. I didn't know anyone like me that was successful running an online training course. But then in 2020, in a span of 4 months, I finally launched the course. So what changed? So how did I launch an online course in a span of 4 months when I couldn't do so for almost 8 years? The answer was coaching. It was a new accountability relationship I now had with my coach that accelerated the results. Through my coach, I was pushed to set goals that scared the hell out of me. When I did not believe in myself, my coach believed in me. When I was stuck in inaction, I was encouraged to keep moving. When I was waiting for additional information and to have everything all perfect, I was pushed to just go ahead with what I had. Over and over again, my coach reminded me that imperfect action is better than no action at all. That transformation comes in the application of what I've learned. That every day I'm either going to get better or worse, but I'll never be the same. So I chose to get better. And it was all because I got coaching. It was because I had an accountability relationship that fostered action. And this is one of the benefits you will get when you become a part of our membership network. So would you agree with me that if you don't take action and if you don't do so consistently, that nothing will change? Perhaps you've experienced this in your lives. I mean, you all have experience. You've done so many things already in your life. I'm sure you can attest to the fact that if you don't take action, nothing will change. And it's very likely you won't get any results. The final step in this framework is review. In this important last step, you integrate tracking so that you can review your progress against your goals. This is also an opportunity for you to make adjustments to address things that may not be working. With the review, you will implement weekly or monthly review of your actions against your objectives and goals. And as required, you will make changes to ensure that you're still on track. And you will learn from your successes and failures, and then continue to repeat what's working. In our community, we have a goal achievement framework for achieving results. And as part of this framework, you will implement this process of review to ensure you're moving in the right direction towards your long-term goals. So why is it important to build a discipline of consistently reviewing your goals and the results of your actions? So for those of you that are already used to doing this, you will agree with me that yes, this is necessary if you really want to continue to refine yourself, continue to get better. It's so critically important that you review your goals on an ongoing basis. So I've just gone through all of this framework, right? So we'll start by setting our goals. We assess our current situation. We think about the structures that we're currently using. We implement tax efficiencies all through the process. We take action. We continue to review so that we can refine and repeat what's working. You've all agreed with me on the importance of doing all of these steps as a way to work towards building tax efficient wealth. Even if you only use just a tiny fraction of what we've covered today, don't you feel like you've taken a giant step forward with your journey to tax efficient wealth? The reality is that most people will never achieve financial freedom, talk less of doing so tax efficiently. I don't know what you know about building tax efficient wealth coming into the webinar today, but I think it's a safe bet to say that what we've covered today is probably new and hopefully valuable to you. Okay, so things like the key steps required to build tax efficient wealth, how to use the tools, particularly those ones provided to us by our government to build tax efficient wealth, how to build assets that will accelerate your cash flow and your wealth, and ultimately how to eliminate the fear of running out of money and hopefully for life. And this is why I've created the Tax Efficient Wealth membership network. It's an exclusive membership network where we bring together aspiring professionals that are tired of the unending grind of working for others to inspire one another, to hold each other accountable and implementing what we've learned so that together we can all build and grow our wealth tax efficiently. We can all live fulfilled lives with no money worries, and ultimately we can all create lasting impact for causes that matter to us. As a member, you will get the following benefits: quarterly or monthly live calls where we ask questions and you can ask me anything, access to a private community online and on WhatsApp, access to online resources, training tools, connections. You become part of or you attend our annual Tax Efficient Wealth Summit that we hold in the summer. This year is taking place on Saturday, June the 1st, and we hold it here in Mississauga. You have an opportunity to take the new member assessment so that you know exactly where you are on the success path to tax efficient wealth. You'll get access to our quarterly newsletters that is packed with great insights and actionable steps for you to implement. We'll take care of your taxes, planning, personal financial planning through our one-on-one coaching calls. And this can be monthly, quarterly, or annually, depending on your membership option. We'll build accountability throughout this process of you achieving your goals. And again, this can be monthly, quarterly, or annually, depending on your membership option. And then you get the opportunity for me to actually work and prepare your tax returns, right? Again, depends on your membership platform. And we can represent you as well with CRA, right? Where we support you, we answer any questions that CRA may have regarding any personal tax matters. Again, this benefit is based on your membership option. And ultimately, you get discounts if you engage my accounting firm for any additional tax services you may need. Over the years, I've worked with many clients, clients that have benefited from what is offered through this membership. Chiwale is a friend and a client, and this is what he had to say. So Ken is not your typical CPA. I have benefited from his tax and real estate investing experience. Working with Ken has challenged me to grow both personally and professionally. And here's another good friend and client, Wesley. Wesley has an amazing story, and he's someone that has built significant wealth over the years, primarily through real estate. And all of this started on the back of a conversation we had several years ago when I walked him through the tax-efficient path that real estate offers through my own personal experience. And here is what he has to say. I have known Ken for many years and have benefited from his wealth of business insights and tax advice for several years, which has saved me thousands of dollars. Wesley will likely be one of the speakers at this year's Tax Efficient Wealth Summit, as we often invite speakers to share their personal experience, to share their journey, and to share their struggles and their challenges as well. And finally, meet Shola, another current client, who is on the same journey as most of us, creating and building tax-efficient wealth. I'm proud of what Shola has accomplished so far over the years with his business, with his real estate investments. In our summit last year, he shared his inspiring story on his journey. Here is what he had to say. Ken has been my trusted advisor for many years, not only for my business, but also for other aspects of my personal finances. As a business owner and real estate investor, I've been able to leverage Ken's knowledge in elevating my understanding of taxes and real estate and how I can grow my wealth in a tax-efficient manner. I am excited to be part of his tax-efficient wealth membership network. So during this presentation, I've shared with you a framework for building tax-efficient wealth and the support we can provide through the Tax-Efficient Wealth Membership Network. I've shared the benefits of the membership with you and how others I've worked with in the past have benefited from these offerings. So now you may be wondering, what will it cost to join this membership? Well, I can tell you that it's not $20,000, even though the benefits offered through this program can easily be worth over $20,000. It's not even $10,000 or $5,000. But for as little as $597 plus HST, you can get into this membership and benefit from all that we have to offer. And these are the three membership levels we offer. We have the premium membership, where you get all the benefits, which will include a one-on-one monthly coaching course. I think this membership is ideal for the person that is ready to accelerate results by swinging into immediate action. We also have the standard option. So the standard membership option is where you get most of the benefits, but now with quarterly coaching course. So this would be appropriate for the person where urgency is not so critical, but you're ready to begin to get results. You're ready to use the coaching and accountability framework that we have to build sustainable wealth. And the final option we have is the basic membership. So this is where you still get most of the benefits, but not the ongoing coaching course. So this would be appropriate for the person that is on a budget, but looking to accomplish great results, and someone that wants to benefit from the community that we've built. And no matter your membership level, when you join today, you lock in these prices for as long as you remain a member. What this means is that as we increase our prices every year, you will not be impacted. Okay? So this is one of the great benefits of this membership option. Only new members that are joining will pay the higher prices that will continue to increase year after year. So as the benefits even get better, as the network grows, as the network gets stronger, you get to pay today's prices. I think this is an insane benefit and one more reason to consider joining today. And to encourage those of you here to even take immediate action, if you join today, or if you join before midnight on Sunday, March the 10th, you get a one-time discount of 30%. So this is an additional savings, and my goal with this is to remove any excuses that may prevent you from joining this membership network. Because this network is designed to help you accelerate your journey to building tax-efficient wealth. And to do that, all you have to do is to use that code TAX30 during checkout to get that additional 30%. And that additional 30% is only valid till midnight on Sunday. So I've talked about our membership network. I've shared a lot today, and I agree that is a lot. But again, this is just a summary, right? You get our quarterly and monthly newsletters. You get access to a private community, access to online resources, right? You get the opportunity to take the new member assessment, the quarterly membership newsletters. Depending on your plan, you may get the ongoing one-on-one coaching designed to keep you accountable, right? Depending on your plan, we'll get to do your tax returns for you and get to represent you with CRA, and you get additional savings if you have other tax matters that you want us to handle. Again, you get all of these benefits, likely worth over 20 grand, but you're not paying 20. We're not even charging you 10 or 5. For as little as $597, you get the opportunity to join. And if you take action before Sunday midnight, you can get an additional 30%, a one-time discount for taking action quickly. And when you join, you also get our 30-day no questions asked guarantee. So if you're unhappy for any reasons, just ask for a refund and we'll process that for you. The only caution I have for you here is that getting results, particularly when it comes to your finances, is not something that will happen overnight. It requires planning and it will take time, certainly more than 30 days. But this guarantee is here just in case you want to get a taste of what this membership can potentially deliver for you. So once again, I encourage you and I invite you to join us and to take the action that you need to accelerate your journey to tax-efficient wealth. To sign up, you simply go to our website, tax-efficientwealth.ca, and I can quickly show you that here. So if you come to the website here, tax-efficientwealth.ca, once you click on that link, it will bring you to this site, and you can now click on this button here to join. If you need to read additional information, we have some additional information here. But once you click on this button here to join, it brings you up to this page. And so this is just a summary page. And here you can decide which option you want to choose. If you want the premium, you choose that option. And the good thing with the premium option is that you get the opportunity to make a one-time payment, which is discounted, or you make a monthly payment, right? So this premium option is the only option that has the monthly payment. Every other option is a one-time payment that has to be paid right away. So if you want the standard option, you click on that. If you want the basic option, you click on that. So if you click on on one option, click next, it will take you to a page where you can click and make your payment. So for example, if you want to do the monthly option here, you click on that and it brings you to this page where you enter your first name, your last name, your email address, phone number, and you enter your billing information. And then you can enter that code here, tax30, click apply code, and then you can get that discount, one-time discount, and you can place your order. Okay. All right, so this is all I have for today. I'm going to quickly look through the charts to see if there are any questions that I can answer. So for those of you that joined late, what I'll do in a day or two, you're going to get the recording for this in an email and hopefully get some reminders just to make sure that you don't miss that deadline for the discount. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me an email. You can send me information through our website, and just feel free to reach out to me and respond to the emails that you get from me if you have any questions regarding anything we've covered today. And so I don't see any questions here. So we're going to end the presentation today. So once again, I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate your attentiveness And hopefully you found something useful today that you can use, whether you're part of our membership or not. Hopefully I've left you with something to think about, particularly when it comes to building tax efficient wealth. All right, take care. Bye. See you next time.